Kia ora whānau. Welcome to Te Hauora Brothers. We're back on Covid-19 quarantine sessions. Thought we'd do a little podcast and catch up with everyone. How you boys been?
Yeah, good. Healthy as. Think I had coronavirus probably about 3 weeks ago, and now I'm good. It was just like a little snivelly nose and a bit tired, but I'm good. Yeah.
Your immune system just bossed it?
Yeah, bro. So luckily I'm under 70 years old and I don't have any prior health conditions. So I think I bumped it off like an ulcer kiss.
Like a lomu.
Yeah, bro.
COVID just came and just fucking give it a bump.
Yeah. I'm
How about you, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been fine. I've avoided everyone. I know the occasional trip to the supermarket, go do some pull-ups on the bars. I've got some nice gardening gloves to keep me safe.
Nice. What?
Yeah.
You've been done up to go to the supermarket, putting on your suit?
Yeah. Oh, no, not quite a hazmat, but I've got some masks. We've got a massive box of masks, so we've just been
Dude, I tell you, I'm finding it interesting that certain agencies are diminishing the usefulness of the mask in terms of its ability to transmit. It's pretty logical, bro. If I decrease my ability to move droplets around, I'm going to prevent my ability to spread germs or potential virus. So for them to even state that it has no use is ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you see that video of how the blue, how the droplets, or
yes,
the molecule? Yeah, it's pretty interesting, eh?
Dude, it can disperse immensely. So it's really frustrating when dumb shit like that comes out saying, "Oh, don't wear them." It's like, bro, you wear them if you want to, you know.
So if you trust your immune system enough, you want to back yourself, then okay.
Yeah.
I heard in Wuhan that people were getting the disease or getting the virus again after they thought they'd recovered.
Okay, so correct. There was no, but that's more. If you look into that phrase, it seems to be more of a result of poor testing, or the testing method not being reliable, coming back with a false negative. So in reality, maybe the individual has not been effectively cleared of the actual virus, and that is more likely a fault in the testing method. So for it to say that it's coming coming back or going dormant and then resurfacing, I think is probably not true, and also probably not true in terms of how virus functions. They don't just start destroying cells and then go, oh yeah, we'll let things recover a wee bit and then come back harder. I mean, sure, they can leave and then return if we get rid of it, and then it may be able to return, but
regards to immunity, what have you lads been doing? You've been researching it or applying different methods?
I've more been interested. I mean, I'm not worried at all, dude. I'm really not worried. I think anyone who's healthy and not old is really silly to worry, personally.
It's 92% over the age of 65.
It's insane, bro. It's insane. There's too many people getting scared or too willing to trust in what the government,
the natural antibody creation that the immune system has.
The immune system. If one of the bros gave me a great analogy today, and he said, he told me that everything has a economic health cost. So, for example, if I drive my car at 100 kilometers, my death rate is going to be at X amount, because going at that rate requires some risk. If I crash, I'm probably going to die. But then if I drove at 5
lens,
but if we drove at 5 kilometers, how am I ever going to effectively move or transport humans and goods to remove effectively 99.9% of risk? So our risk at the moment is if you have underlying health issues, and we can probably even put them specifically into cardio and respiratory issues, and just because it's come to light that people with diabetes, so insulin resistance, and then general sickness. So you'd probably classify just, who are the classic immunity people who don't technically have any, I suppose, cardiovascular disease or things of the like. So just people who get sick all the time, or probably inactive obese people, things like that, bro. So if you actually,
I love thinking of the thousands of variables that relate to our immunity, whether it's like the diversity, microbiome, or the toxicity of the blood. What things come into systemic inflammation in relation to someone's immunity. So many things.
I think that, in my opinion, the most, a rational response would be, and we do need to think, like, if anyone is saying, no, we need to just lock down and not think about things economically, if you actually believe that, then you are subservient to potentially collapsing the system that provides you any form of means, well-being, or income.
For sure.
So what then? Again, we have to strike a balance. So we've taken the hard lockdown approach, and I think that, hey, bro, that's a good method. You are better off to go early and hard, then late before hard, because if we go late, we have a systemic decrease in our economic activity with steadily emerging numbers. By the time we go into full lockdown, the clearance time will be longer. So the notion of clearing fast means we can return to economic activity faster.
Sure.
If we sure, that's a good method.
In essence, would the countries that get rid of it faster be, winning economically from being able to get back into business and exporting again? Yeah.
So who has made the largest economic positive moves thus far?
Yeah, who's been buying the stocks?
Yeah, exactly. So, there are no coincidences in this world.
Talk to me about 9/11.
9/11. It's the Rothschilds. Zeitgeist.
The Vanderbilts. Metadata.
Alex Jones. Dude, hey, man. There's no accidents, bro. So I mean, like, we could talk for fucking hours about the National Institute of Health that was conducting virus research, that was funding the Wuhan Institute. We can talk about how Bill Gates has venture interests and pretty much has hooks into the World Health Organization and is dictating vaccine policy and dissemination, although he's technically not even a virologist. We can talk about how China has conveniently.
Don't even get me thinking, man. Don't even get me down there.
Well, there's too many variables. I've already gone down those rabbit holes, Fraser, and so it'd be really easy to do that. But if we can,
be aware of all the information, and like,
of course it is, because what provides clarity, bro? The greater amount of data and a scientific, rational lens. So if we can sit at home and just yell and scream at each other on social media for whether we stayed home or not, or whether we think the government is making good moves, or we can make real good decisions based on our data, then maybe our data would suggest that we are best to go hard on locking the borders, and providing a level 4 lockdown to people with underlying health conditions and of a certain age and predilection. Then you could allow the wheels to turn for other conventional economics, so we don't lag behind, overinflate our currency, and also suppress our economy or society to changing our behaviors. Because there's a lot of discussion about post-COVID as well, which I think is kind of unhealthy, as if we're going to start behaving in a more distancing and less connected manner. Because the notion that, we can connect in different ways does not satisfy the needs of humanity, bro, which is touch and interaction. So this is just it's not natural. We will return to interaction, and we should follow data. Why don't listen to people's fucking opinions? Follow data, follow research, follow logic.
Bro, I was talking to my mum. Have I told you about that grounding, earthing research in relation to like the neutrophil and leukocyte count in the blood?
I remember you. That was the healing stuff. Is that correct, bro? That accelerating like wound inflammation and things like that. I'm familiar with the contact of grounding with decreasing blood pressure and improving circulation. So I think if you have decreased, if you lower or manage your blood pressure and have decreased stress, then obviously it's going to provide a more cohesive environment for recovery. So I think those are related.
Data on that, should we not be like massively educating that to every human?
That's like, fucking science, bro. It's nature and science, one and the same, bro. So I think it's really unfair when people put that in the basket of greeny, spiritual,
without touching the grass or the tree.
Yeah. That's how removed we are from nature, bro. We have to conduct science to reiterate that our contact with nature has a health benefit to us, and people need convincing of it to engage with it. Bro, I've got
have a mini lawn, and you call it mini lawn.
Bro, I want you to pay me for my COVID recovery program, and what you need to do is you need to follow steps 1 through 5. Step 1, go outside and take your shoes off. Step 2, stand on the grass in nature for a minimum of 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Step 3, an EMOM. Step 4,
psyllium husk.
Step 4, psyllium husk. Dude, yeah. My 5-step program to immunity. Yeah.
Wait, but step 4 and 5 are both psyllium husk?
0 to 5 steps to immunity and $1 million. There you go. Done.
Also, just
anyway, we're going back down the bullshit fucking of our yarns earlier. You know, we'll try to stay on topic. Yeah. But dude, that's immunity 101, isn't it, Fraser? Like, how many times have we discussed all the free immunity stuff? How about we practice some fasting? How about we get out in nature? How about we get some natural sunlight and fresh air? How about we practice some sort of basic deep breathing? How about we get 8+ hours sleep and eat nutritious food? What is nutritious food? Not processed, not high in sugar, ideally from your region, and has minimal change of form other than to package and move it, you know?
Man, where's the subscribe button to this? This is good shit.
Well, if we all 3 of us will subscribe, it'll take our subscribers to 3.
I thought it was 13. I thought we were on to like 10 or 12 or something.
Oh, I'm just talking shit, man, you know?
Yeah, we blowing up.
Dude, I started my little page and it's been quite fun, and I think I have 13 subscribers. Yeah.
Oh, yes, boy.
That's it. Yeah. It's my first 13, bro.
Unless you do something.
It's the hardest 13. Yeah. They say the first 13 are the hardest.
Yeah, bro. From 15 onwards, bro, you're living.
From 15 to 63, bro, it's just,
bro,
just not even going to know, bro. Not even going to know, bro.
It's going to hit that exponential curve and it's just going to go through the roof.
Bro, there's just 10 different angles of you getting your morning coffee from Vanguard and walking to the house.
That would be it, bro. Yeah. That would be it. And then, possibly some bench later, you know? Possibly.
EMOM bench.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we're losing our focus again, Fraser. Let's wind it back into some sort of constructive chat to people other than us.
COVID-19.
What about I mean, obviously, I mean, I always prefer to talk about the non-consumable and free behaviors that we can engage with, because they are the best. Obviously, people love hearing about supplements. What can I consume? How can I consume my health? So for the idiots out there who like to throw money at their well-being, you can probably buy some vitamin D, I suppose.
Bro, the best money you could throw towards well-being is tons of different coaches that ring you and wake you up, coaches that make you go train, that make you sit down and do your work.
So if you're cool, there's
for you, for you, Fraser, sure, yeah, absolutely. The accountability coach. Yeah. There will be guys like that who I imagine are just hard-ass motherfuckers. They have to be super conscientious and hard-ass though, bro, and just have a list of people that they just call and like drill on and get, grill hard to make sure they're doing this stuff. But again, Fraser, you're taking us off course again, bro. Let's get back to our immunity. I mean, we've talked about this before plenty of times.
People could be doing.
Yeah, vitamin D. So you can either there's our three vitamin D options actually. So you can get outside and get that fucking sun, because you ain't got work to do. Get outside, So that's number one. And then obviously number two is like our food. So I mean, our most accessible vitamin D sources, bro, are probably like canned fish and milk.
Silly.
So just does it? I don't know. I reckon it doesn't, but
ridiculous. No,
okay, so that's a to be confirmed on psyllium husk.
Yeah, I'll do some research.
It's got what?
It's got
holyonic. It's got lots of holyonic acid though, doesn't it?
Not yet. Not till I make that product. Psyllium hyaluron.
Yeah, or activated psyllium husk. What is it?
Autographs are cheap.
Bro, activated lipolic psyllium husk tablets. Yeah, 3 times the absorption.
Liposomic activated charcoal psyllium coming for you. 2007.
Oh fuck!
It happened, but it's coming again.
God damn it! Anyway, back to our vitamin D. Oily fish. Oily fish and dairy are pretty much
some people
pretty
need
hard
the D more than others.
Yeah, hard. And I mean, if we look at the origins of high vitamin D consumption areas, where do they exist? Close to the Arctic Circle, bro. Those white motherfuckers up in the far north, because there's not much sunlight in winter, so nature had to provide the needs that you weren't getting from the sun. Simple. Stay with me, Fraser. Stay with me. Come on.
You have to be so crude. Yeah, but anyway, these white cunts.
Well, it's just me, bro. They're just words, bro. They have as much power as you want to give them, so it's all good.
Wait. Oh damn.
Man, bro, man, look at me. I'm white. It's all good.
Need more vitamin D.
Yeah, that's right, and better lighting. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But yeah. So vitamin D. I mean, that's right. If dairy's a no-go for you, then oily fish. I don't know many people who are incapable of consuming oily fish, or incapable of going outside. If you're incapable of going outside and receiving natural light and eating oily fish or dairy, then I suppose you are reduced the supplementation, which will be okay. So yeah, that's vitamin D. That's consumable.
Natural sunlight's always going to be the best way to synthesize and
of course, yeah.
Reaction, so, yeah.
Yeah, well, and you also have to look at the externalities. You're getting outside, you're getting fresh air. You would hope that you're getting some movement as well. If you're going outside, you're not just sitting outside. And you know, so there's obviously all the flow over benefits of that.
For sure, bro. Yeah.
What else, bros? Add in, by all means.
Just combine them all. Go take your shoes off, go roll around on the grass, do some sort of exercise, have a good breather. Yeah.
Bro, that is the thing, eh? It's like, all you need to be doing, like, I guess you got to think, because, like, the general populace, not everyone loves training. Not everyone loves to, you know, engage in physical activity. Even though that's the goal to actually, like, you know, build people into it and allow them to.
I think we're going to have some consumption risks in this time, boys. I think there are going to be a sector of the population who are just habitually boredom or impulsively eating. Yeah, absolutely. I really think there will be. And there will be a lot who are consuming garbage as well. So if we, that would be a huge one to be mindful of. Obviously, stress reduction.
Got nothing else to do.
Yeah, bro, people do. We have marginally better self-control. As you know, humans have marginally better self-control. I don't know, actually. I would debate if we actually observed total humanity that live in with abundance of access to food versus dogs. I would say that we have barely any better self-control than dogs to chocolate as we do to food, because we've got a lot of big people out there, and there are going to be a lot of people just hanging out, smashing food.
You put a couple of Labradors, they'll just keep going. They'll eat until they die.
How many people are eating themselves to death at the moment, Fraser? Think about that.
Labrador.
No, I'm talking about humans, bro.
I know.
Dude, our number one cause of death in this world will be overconsumption related disease. Absolutely.
Whether it's technology, food.
Well, I'm probably leaning to drugs kill fuck all, bro. Let's be real. We're talking about
lifestyle that accompanies it, however.
Yeah, but we're talking about food, bro.
Guns and bullets.
We're very poor at mitigating and controlling our response to consuming food and energy when it's abundant. We really are, because otherwise we wouldn't have a population that is almost 50% overweight at varying times, and we are meant to live in a society that is of reasonable means.
We no longer need to ration for ourselves and our family and the rest of the village or whatever. Now it's just like, you got plenty. You can get 2.25 liters of Coke for $1.50. Go get it.
Oh, dude, it's just processed food that is devoid in good quality protein and fat is cheap to produce. Protein is expensive. Like natural protein is expensive to produce. So we can argue from 2 points. It's cheaper to mass produce shitty carbs. So that's where New Zealand's issues are. So we would hope that obviously one of our last quarterlies we released things, a good daily practice of fasting, not drinking our calories, and would have a significant improvement to decreasing stresses, balancing that immunity. Obviously, again, filled up with nutritious food, so food that's still in the same state that it was harvested in, not not chips and Tim Tams, obviously. And I am inclined to say the culprit is primarily in carbohydrates and sugars, because there's a shit ton of insulin resistance, and there's a lot of people that are overweight as a result of nutrient devoid carbohydrate consumption. So cut the fucking shitty carbs.
That was like a pod we did with diabetes.
It's real, bro. It's real. Watch. It needs to be talked about a lot and educated. Obviously, a hard. I think just deliver the truth, real, man, because our rates are going up, and I think if we actually start looking at the data and research abroad as well, the levels of diabetes, it's going to be the largest health cost in the world. I don't know if it is already, but I'm imagining that diabetes-related health complications, consultations, and responses are going to overwhelm and be the number one. Yeah, well, dude, it's the answer is to eat less. That's such a simple solve when we kind of point at it like that, is to reduce the carbohydrate footprint and eat less total calories. It's really hard when the answer is so simple, but we're fighting biology and emotions.
See, I feel that's good for a few people, like the dieting, the fasting will help a few people, but for a lot, they've already got to a point where the body is so inefficient, they've put on excess body weight, and metabolically, physiologically, they're not able to shed the pounds or to get back. It's like, you need to do that.
I disagree, Fraser. I think that their willpower and their discipline is so destroyed and so distorted that the ability to adhere to those changes is fucking tough. And I don't disagree with that, because we know, I mean, we can think about when we get into a bad space mentally. Well, we're not fat and sick, so let's amplify that cognitive space and try to actually think about where they're at. So it's more to do with the mental fortitude and emotions and biology.
Bro, that's a good exercise.
If you think it is,
that's a good exercise for all people. It's like, imagine when you are in a rut mentally and you're procrastinating, you can't get a rhythm. Amplify that with, another 20 years of poor diet and no exercise and whatever. It's like, whoa, that must be tough to get out of.
Absolutely. Look to the polarized, look to the individual who may be posed with the greatest challenge of that paradigm, and try to empathize with that situation, and then you will start being able to be a more like what I would call a rationally empathetic human. It's not about getting deeply emotionally about it. It's being able to attach a meaningful understanding towards how someone can feel. That's a better way to think of it. It's
empathy,
well, it's meaningful empathy, because we're actually trying to we're digesting meaningfully and rationally how that happens. We're removing we're removing the emotional response, because that's a bad place to get to, man. Because that can just leave us responsive or acting with the ego, as opposed to being able to, and we can apply it to many things, bro. Whether it be people who are obese, people who are imprisoned. If we can actually empathize the extremity of their conditions that got them there, and maybe the fallacies and tragedy of the legal system that intertwines and provides that framework that has a bias and whatnot, or even a society that fails to understand the character or situation of the population that is subject to that. But but in terms of returning back to the the obese people, there are examples of people who have been in extreme positions who have changed their life. So for us to assume that a significant change in a habit, such as some fasting and reduction of carbohydrate, to not have an effect, I undoubtedly, if someone actually followed the rules, it would have a positive response.
Yeah, sure.
I have no fucking doubt about that. If
just the ability to adhere to it for a long enough time period.
Yeah, true, dude. I mean, if someone was like extremely overweight, and if all they did was do a 5 to 10 minute walk after every minute on the minute walking,
dude, just
for 10 minutes.
Push the stopwatch, just like shit. I got to get 10 reps in.
Bro, you should have a we could make an EMOM app, bro, which is a notification that just goes off on your phone every hour on the hour.
Yeah, bro.
And it tells you to do X amount of exercises.
Bro, you'd call it'd be an EHOH, EHOH.
Bro, every hour on the hour, and it just tells you, all right, 30 burpees. How gangster would that? That's a good app idea, actually. We'll save that one, Jay. And you program it for the workday, bro. So you just set it up, and from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. every hour on the hour, you get a notification, and it sends you some random exercises to do that only take you a small amount of time.
We'd have to build some levels to it. So some people, you just like a little walk. Other people to be like, bro, yeah, you're doing burpees.
That's it, bro. Yeah. You enter some info, and you just fucking you can
extreme do you want to go?
Yeah. How many? Yeah. Do you want to start at 7 a.m. and finish at 7 p.m. or? Yeah. I think that's gangster.
Bro,
that's cool.
Bro, there's actually a very simple and very powerful app, because you can have every minute on the minute, every hour on the hour, and then every day on the day, you get someone to do a certain thing. It's like it's still a habit.
It's not a reminder either, bro. It'll be like an alarm. The alarm goes off, and it tells you what you're up to. It's like, bro, 30 squats now. That's it.
Yeah. Not bad.
Anyway,
not bad.
That's good. We'll chuck that in with details, eh?
Hard, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Anyway,
sooner or later,
bro,
something's gonna pop.
It's happening. But I mean, so you know, if dude, if like for example, if a big person, if we look at the paradigms of what creates a negative, an environment for weight management, providing less opportunity to consume, and setting up the hormones and the physiology for better function, and for increasing the output and the ability of the body to create more oxygen consumption and energy exertion. So that, those are the paradigms, right? Thermic effects, etc., etc. So if all someone did was like if you were sleeping 6 hours a night and you started sleeping 9 hours a night and you're very overweight, you will probably lose weight, because A, you have 3 hours less time to consume shit, and B, you are providing your body more physiological optimal time for recovery.
Yeah, figure out what's going on.
Right?
So less likely to eat shit during the day too.
That's it. And also the deeper it gets into night, we amplify our sweet salt receptors as our body starts increasing our melanin, right, in preparation for sleep. It can also provide a heightened response to the sweet salt receptors if we fight that sleep capacity. In other words, we start craving shit, which is like it's a real thing, man. Because we're, the hormones are trying to prepare ourselves for sleep, and instead we're not. Anyways, go to fucking sleep. There you go, free one. Doing any exercise above none, ideally after eating, right? So we're mobilizing our
every
metabolic
meal
system.
on the meal.
That is a great way to. That's a great way to think about it, though, right? Stan Efferding and goes on about his 10-minute walks, which he's got everyone
right. And
doing.
it's a win-win. If people are too lazy to do it, it's like, no, I'm just not gonna eat.
Yeah, exactly. It's like eat and then move, and you'll feel better because you'll
Man,
improve
if I eat,
digestion.
I'm gonna have to move. This alarm's gonna go off. I don't want to do it.
That is a win-win. I like that, bro. Yeah. Fuck
like,
it, I ain't eating. I gotta move.
Fast or train.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm too lazy to eat. I'm too lazy to walk. I ain't eating.
We got you.
Yeah.
We got you.
Should I go for a midnight walk? No, that's good. That's good. I like that.